Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the official trailer that came out for Ironheart. If you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description. But obviously, we're picking up sometime after the event of Wakanda Forever. How long is unclear. Maybe it's like pretty immediately, but obviously, she's still trying to prove herself at MIT because it's like, right, you're at a place where other people are genius as well, but like she feels like her genius is being overlooked. It's like, I know I'm good. I know what I have is something special, but no one will recognize my genius and no one will recognize me. And so she gets mixed up with Anthony Ramos's character, the Hood, and he's just like, yo, I will help you fund the means to do what you want to do. You want to make something special. You want to make something iconic. You want to make something that stands out. You want to prove yourself in this world of like people who might doubt you and don't recognize what you're capable of and don't realize playing into that hero's journey of maybe you're a little it's a little ego. I mean, maybe it's just come from a place of you feel like you're not getting a fair shake for whatever reason, or maybe it is a thing of you're letting your ego get the best of you. Like, no, I deserve this, I deserve that. Who knows? I don't know Riri enough to really fully know, but I'd like to believe she's just coming from a place of just, I'm not getting recognized, I'm being overlooked. But sometimes ego can play a part in that, and it's just like, especially like, your ego gets like bruised because it's like no matter what I do, like I'm not getting a fair shake that maybe other people are. And it's just like no one's seeing the vision. It's the thing where it's like everything makes perfect sense in your head, but when you try to translate to real life, it's not working out. And so you get mixed up with a bad crowd because it's like, hey, we got to do a little bad just for the greater good of what you want. So it's like, yeah, I might do some shady stuff, but it becomes that thing of the more stuff you're involved in, the more you're falling down this rabbit hole of like, yeah, you don't know this dude. You think, he's your friend. He's seducing you with the money and saying all the right things, the things you want to hear. And you're not realizing how deep down the rabbit hole you're going of all this criminal stuff until things start spiraling more and more out of your control. And it's just like, at what point do you recognize like enough is enough? I need to stop this. I played my own role. I played my part in this, but I have to change things. I have to approach things differently. That's just going to be the interesting point of what is going to be that final like straw that broke the camel's back to make Riri turn against him and his group. I mean, we're talking about a guy who has a little magical hood. Obviously we got a little taste of it in season 3 of What If, but how that whole situation plays out, like his motivations, because in the comics, apparently he's tied to Mephisto. Will Mephisto make an appearance? There's been rumors and speculations on who Mephisto could be, if Mephisto pops up at all, but we don't know. There's also that interesting thing, and I think I'm always a fan of sci-fi and fantasy blending. I know that's not always people's cup of tea, but I always think that's interesting, because the MCU as a whole is very science fictional. I feel like they lean way more into the science fiction than they do the more fantastical elements. Don't get me wrong, there is plenty of fantasy and magic, but there's been so much in the MCU that's really been science fictionized, I guess. I'm struggling to say that. So the clashing of tech and magic is so interesting, and I'm curious to see what the end result ends up being on Riri's journey and what this means for her in the future. Obviously, there's the younger Avengers / champions of it all. I wonder will there be any Wakandan cameos in this? Like I said, I'm just so curious too, what is Riri's motivations other than trying to prove herself? And it's just like, what does she want in the long run? To be fair, maybe some of that was in Wakanda Forever, but I've not seen it since it originally came out. So maybe some of those motivations were there and I'm just not remembering. But it's just like, does she want to be the next Tony Stark? Does she want to be just her? What is does she just want to make something good in the world and want to do something great, and she wants to be remembered and just doesn't want to be kind of just forgotten and thrown to the side type of situation? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where the series takes us with Riri's journey, as well as the Hood, and she does have friends, because we never met any of her friends in Wakanda Forever. So the people, I don't know if it's like an aunt or whatever, because I think isn't Riri's parents out of her life, or did they die? I can't remember, because there's an older woman you're going to get yourself in trouble. So I don't know if that's like an aunt or whether that is her mom. But then she also has a friend being like, yo, you're biting off more than you can chew. But she's like, I can bite quite a bit, So she feels like she can handle everything, but like I said, things spiral out from there. So we'll see how everything shapes up and plays out when the series comes out. Obviously, these are my thoughts. I'd love to get to know yours in the comments down below. What do you want from the series? What do you expect from the series? Let me know your thoughts. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good